Alrighty, it's time for a special series, and it is the original starter decks of 2002. There was a Yugi starter deck, and there was a Kaiba starter deck. If you want to see the card listings, they're available online. They're pretty easy to find. Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Database is a good website. Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Guide as well. But you can find these deck lists pretty easy. Yugi starter deck and Kaiba starter deck from 2002. They were basic. This is how I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Being played. It was simple, it was easy to follow, and the monsters had heart. So in this one, we are going to be reviewing both the decks as we see them in play, as Yugi has summoned the Dragon Zombie. Now if you have a look at the deck counts, you'll see Yugi's deck had 47, Kaiba's had 49. Both decks do have 50 cards in their original form. 3 of the cards in Yugi's deck are banned, 1 of the cards in Kaiba's deck is banned. Kaiba's banned card is the Ultimate Offering. Pay 500 life points, you can conduct another normal summon per turn. Actually, you can conduct as many as you want, actually, with Ultimate Offering, until you run out of monster spaces. That card is also in starter deck Yugi. So, the other 2 cards banned in Yugi's deck is Change of Heart, and the other one is Last Will. Last Will does a similar effect to Sangan, which is the Black Forest. I think Last Will is attack 1500 or less. Can't remember if it goes to the hand or to the field. It's either one, but it's a similar effect. But being a magic card, there's probably a loop effect that can be created, as we see reinforcements played on the Dragon Zombie to remove Kaiba's Lajin, the Mystical Genie. However, Yugi's field is empty. Kaiba is able to attack again, and he has played the Destroyer Golem. It's a 1500 4-star monster. Back then, was pretty good. So we won't see the 2000 attacks with 4 stars. We will see 1600 attacks with 5 stars in these early days of Yu-Gi-Oh! As Yugi has summoned Baron of the Fiend Sword. He has a 1550 attack. That will deal 50 life points of damage to Kaiba. And Kaiba, now the thing about these early starter decks is that once the opponent gets the upper hand of monsters on the field, it is very difficult to stop them. These decks do not have sorry. They do have a sweeping card each. Both decks do have the Dark Hole. Both decks have a Monster Reborn, etc, etc. But of the 2 decks, I owned both of these decks once upon a time. I don't own them anymore. There's Monster Reborn, and Yugi is going to bring back Lajin, and despite Yugi being down on life points, he is going to be very difficult to stop from here. Kaiba's only strong monsters, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Next strongest is the Judge Man at 2200, 6 stars, needs a tribute. And then it is Swordstalker at 2000. I think the next strongest in Kaiba's deck then is Lajin. Just Desserts is activated, 1500 off Yugi. Lajin for its time, 4 stars at 1800, very very good. It should have qualified as a 5-star monster back in these days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Doma the Angel of Silence is 5 stars, it's only 1600, that's in Yugi's starter deck. And there's plenty of cards like that. Leogun is another example, Mazerazame's another example. So at this time in the real world, the Legend of Blue Eyes booster pack was out. So these 2 decks use a combination of cards from the Legend of Blue Eyes booster pack. I don't know how far apart they were released, but the Legend of Blue Eyes was the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster pack, and it had all of these cards contained in it, if not all of them. It would have been most of them. I think Metal Raiders had Metal Raiders had Summon Skull, if I'm remembering it correctly. Or was Summon Skull in LOB? No, I think I might be thinking of... Oh, there is a Blue Eyes White Dragon. However, it will not matter because Terror the Terrible has come to the field, so this isn't a best of 3 or anything like that. They're just going to play for half an hour and all sort of Dark Destruction. Is Kaiba going to? He is. He's going to get felled by his own Lajin, the mystical genie of the lamp. So Yugi is up 1-0. So in the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, the strongest card in that was, of course, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. The second strongest was the Trihorn Dragon at 2850. Gaia the Dragon Champion, which was a fusion. Then it was Dark Magician. Red Eyes was in Legend of Blue Eyes. Okay, so Summon Skull was in Metal Raiders. So the Yugi and the Kaiba decks might be a bit of a fusion between Metal Raiders and Legend of Blue Eyes. To clarify that, but so Succubus Knight or Succubus Knight. I think it's Succubus Knight. 1650 attack, 1300 defense, 5 stars. Spike Cedra, 1600 attack, 1300 defense, 5 stars. Mizarazame, 1400 attack, 1600 defense, 5 stars. Still Loga Grotto, 1400 attack, 1800 defense, also 5 stars. There's another one, Sandstone, 1300 attack, 1600 defense. No effects, by the way, on these cards. 5 stars. So yeah, a lot of the cards back then, they were like that. But it was the basic form of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's what a lot of us grew up with. The inexperienced spy is probably, you could argue, that is one of the worst magic cards in the game. You see one card in your opponent's hand. Arguably, that could be just about the worst spell card in the game, probably besides like Spirit Elimination or something like that. And we see a double, we see a stalemate between Master and Expert and the Mammoth Graveyard. Mammoth Graveyard, of course, a classic Yugi monster, and Yugi he's got rubbish in his hand. Would he play Monster Reborn? He does have card destruction. He's set Monster Reborn, and it's just activated card destruction. Oh, I do believe I just saw a Blue Eyes White Dragon go to Kaiba's graveyard. Yugi now has Soul Exchange and Fissure, and there it is. Yugi is gonna play the Blue Eyes White Dragon. That is insane. Where is my TV remote gone? There it is. Well, have a look at that. 3,000 points. But it's on Yugi's side of the field, so in terms of the two decks, I will start to reveal bits now. Yugi's deck is, in my opinion, is a lot better. It's a lot more balanced between the monsters. Like Yugi's got Neo the Magic Swordsman, he's got, you know, Celtic Guardian, Feral Imp, Man-Eating Treasure Chest, Baron of the Fiend Sword, and then he's got Curse of Dragon and Summon Skull. Summon Skull is the big one. 6 stars, 2,500. That is a huge advantage for the starter deck Yugi over the starter deck Kaiba. As we see Mystic Clown, Kaiba's monsters, they're not very well balanced. They're either really weak or they're like, he doesn't have a lot of like 1400s. He's got the 1500 there in Mystic Clown, but his mid-tier monsters, the gap between his really weak monsters and his high level monsters is quite big. Well, it's a lot more unbalanced than the Yugi deck is. Yugi has the Man-Eating Treasure Chest and Neo the Magic Swordsman. Like I said, he's also got Mystical Elf and Giant Soldier of Stone. 2000 defense on both of those monsters. Kaiba does not. He does not have any defensive cards like that. He may have the Blue Eyes White Dragon, but it's difficult for him to summon. And Yugi has Soul Exchange, he has Fissure, he has Dark Hole. He can even get his monsters strong enough to get over Blue Eyes White Dragon as well. So the Yugi deck definitely is better. It is very difficult to actually win a starter deck match between Yugi and Kaiba. If you are playing as Kaiba, it is actually very difficult to win. So we'll see the perspective flip a few times. Yugi is now up 2-0. But it is always fun to have a look back at where the game started. I do believe it would have been one of these two decks, if not maybe both of them. I don't quite remember. I think it might have been starter deck Yugi that I got first. Because then, not long after, the Joey and the Pegasus starter decks came out. They're a little bit better. Joey's deck, the strongest is 2400, but he's got Time Wizard. He's also got Darkfire Soldier. He's got 7-colored fish. He's got some stronger mid-tier 4-star monsters. I say mid-tier, they're like higher level 4-star monsters in terms of attack. And Kaiba has got Judgment this time. He's got Pale Beast and Koji Kose. Okay, maybe I was wrong. He does have a few 1500s. There's Dark Assailant as well. So Kaiba, he does have a few 1500s. He's drawn 2 of them. If Yugi's got a bad card face down here, if Kaiba can get that Judgment to the field, big advantage. When I had the 4 starter decks, Yugi, Joey, Kaiba and Pegasus, fusing them together to create a deck was always fun. As the Feral Imp was destroyed, 1400 defense. Starter deck Yugi now is going to respond. Oh, it's Yami. Field spell card. And the Man-Eating Treasure Chest. Kaiba's field spell card you would think would be Mountain. It is not. It is Sojin. Which Joey's starter deck had a Mountain. But I always thought that was really weird that Kaiba had Sojin, considering that his starter deck doesn't have that many warriors. It does have Judgeman and Swordstalker though, both over 2000 and warriors. Sojin would increase both of them, same with Koji Kose, so okay. It's just weird still though. Kaiba, you would think, would want to power up his Blue Eyes White Dragon. As Witty Phantom now, and that too will gain a 200 point boost. Classic Yu-Gi-Oh! As Dark Assailant is destroyed. Man-Eating Treasure Chest. A monster disguised as a treasure chest that is unknown to attack the unwary adventurer. Sounds like the mimic chests out of Final Fantasy, as we see Swordstalker. Kaiba's whole hand is normal monsters, and he can only summon 2 of them. Neither one of them is strong enough. Yami is putting Witty Phantom above the base attack of Koji Kose. As the Celtic Guardian now comes to the field at 1400 attack. Yugi has attacked with the Witty Phantom, so 14 and 18 is 3200. Kaiba is going to be down to 2700, and it looks like that Yugi is going to win a third. Like I said, we're going to play for roughly half an hour. There's a little bit of ASMR, a little bit of basic Yu-Gi-Oh! To just chill out to. There's a trap hole from Kaiba, but it may have come too late as a Destroyer Golem comes to the field. If only Kaiba could summon any one of the... Oh, not Gyakuteno Megami anymore. It's a fairy, it would get reduced by 200, but it's still 2000 defense. Ah, actually, I was wrong. Kaiba... Oh, when I said 2000 defense, I meant 4 stars or 3 stars, like Mystical Elf and Giant Soldier of Stone. Otherwise, Gyakutenu Megami technically is 2000 defense. but 6 stars, 1600. Yugi played a Trap Master down as well. Did you know in the Legend of Blue Eyes booster pack, there is only, I think, 3 effect monsters in that whole pack. So they will flip around again. There we see, so we are from Yugi's perspective this time. Sort by card number. I am looking at the Legend of Blue Eyes booster pack right now. View by, not by name. Sort by name, sort by, I will do card number. Trihorn Dragon at 000. But I mean, there are some classic cards in that Legend of Blue Eyes booster pack. Flame Swordsman, Skull Servant, Gaia, Celtic Guardian, Basic Insect, Silver Fang, Dark Grey, an 800, 900 normal monster, Trial of Nightmare, Nemuriko, just all these monsters that featured in the very early Yu-Gi-Oh games as well. Cherubin the Fire Knight, Monster Egg, and some of the worst fusions in the game, one of them being Cherubin the Fire Knight, 1100 for a fusion, but there's Fusionist as well in the Legend of Blue Eyes pack. That's a 900, 700, no effect, it's a fusion. So Baron of the Fiend's Sword kicks off against Trap Master, and Yugi has Summon Skull this time as well. It's only 6 stars. Now, special summoning. The only way to special summon with either one of these 2 decks, actually there's 2 for Kaibas, is Monster Reborn. Kaiba can use Flute of the Summoning Dragon with his Lord of D, but special summoning, that was a luxury, not like it is today. So if you could special summon and then use that monster as a tribute, that's where Fusionist may have actually been useful back in the day. And that Turtle, Tiger, Petite Dragon, Hinatama Soul, Flame Ghost, that's a 1000 attack, 800 defense fusion, no effect. Timu, Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, Two-Mouth Dark Ruler, the Furious Sea King, King Fog. Like, how nostalgic are these cards? And here's all the equipped cards: Legendary Sword, Beast Fangs, Violet Crystal, Book of Secret Arts, Power of Kaishin, Dragon Capture Jar, that's a Yugi starter deck as well. There's Celtic Guardian, but you gotta go for the Summon Skull from here. It's looking like it's going to be another loss for Kaiba unless he's got a trap hole. There's also Forest, Wasteland, Mountain, Sojin, Umi, and Yami. The field spell cards, the original 6 field spell cards. Absolutely beautiful. I used to use them. I used to think they did attack and defense up by 500 because of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. Dark Hole and Raigeki, Red Medicine, Sparks, Hinatama. Sparks inflict 200 points of damage to your opponent's life points. Back then it was probably like, whoa, and Hinatama does 500? Absolutely nothing by today's standards, but it's this is the heart of Yu-Gi-Oh! As... ooh, Hain. Can I pronounce Hain differently? I want to pronounce Hain as Hane. That's how you pronounce Hain. It's Hane. Hane. And sent their Summoner Skull back to the hand. I know it's Hain, but Hane sounds funnier. As a face down defense from Kaiba, so he could not get over just even 1400, and that means that Skull is going to be able to return. There's a Claw Reacher, 1000 attack. Ooh, not a bad move using card destruction, because Yugi will get 5 cards back, Kaiba will still only have 2. Ah, there we go, yeah, he had bugger all. Oh, there's a Monster Reborn, there's Soul Exchange, Neo the Magic Swordsman. This is what I mean, the Yugi deck is just better. It's just so much better than the Kaiba starter deck. Yugi might have already won about 4 matches. As timecode says, there's just about 10 minutes left, so it's probably this duel and one more or something. There's Polymerization, Mystical Elf, Tyhone, the Beaver Warrior, Carbanola Warrior, and Gravedigger Ghoul was a card that was in the Legend of Blue Eyes booster pack. Target up to 2 monsters in your opponent's graveyard and banish them. Very useful card to stop Monster Reborn. Yugi, Reaper of the Cards, that's one of the effect monsters that was in Legend of Blue Eyes pack. It just had a lot of like basic monsters. Dark Energy, Laser Cannon, Armor, Vial Germs, Silver Bow and Arrow. They all increase by 300 and it's certain types. Stop Defense, Machine Conversion, Factory, Raise Body Heat. Goblin Secret Remedy, increase your life points by 600. Final Flame, 600 points of damage. Swords of Revealing Light, that was one of the best cards out of it as well. Super rare, it says. A Dark Hole by Kaiba. Looking to save himself here, he's just throwing down the Lord of D. Flower Wolf, 1800 Fusion. Silver Fang and Dark World Thorns, the Man-Eater Bug, Armed Ninja, and Hane. Okay, there were 5 actually. Exodia, the Forbidden One's head. So yes, 5 pieces of Exodia were in there. Pot of Greed was in it as well. Legend of Blue Eyes and Monster Reborn. So nostalgic. Alright, where are we up to? Kaiba has 100 life points remaining, and it's a face down spell or trap. So Yugi is going to pick up, is this win number 3 or number 4? He's drawn the beaver. And Feral Imp wants to make an appearance, but Kaiba does not have anything good on the field. It's probably a D-spell or something. But no, in terms of magic and traps, Yugi just has better magic and traps. So there might be one more. The time code. I said to the players, just play for half an hour. Half an hour of just chilling with the OGs of Yu-Gi-Oh! Quick Span Night. Alright, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Kaiba boy to go first. Aha, it's Hane. Rude Kaiser as well, Ryukushin. Dark Energy and Invigoration. 2 classic power-up cards. I think Invigoration might have been in Metal Raiders. Oh, it is yummy straight off the bat from Yugi here. Such a useful card for each deck. There's, Neo, that's going to be 1900. Straight off the bat, that's massive for this era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to throw down a 1900 on first turn. You'd win most of the matches you play if you got that. Magic, MRD. Metal Raiders. The Gate Guardian. God, that card is garbage. Wait, the Mystic Clown along with a Dark Energy. Kaiba has responded with a 2000 attack. Look at that, 2 different equips to get rid of... Reborn the monster. Neo the Magic Swordsman, so Yugi might have Book of Secret Arts. No, he's gone for a tribute. He hasn't got... Oh, he has. Summon Skull 2700. I was hoping for Book of Secret Arts there, because then we could have another magic card come down to counter-attack. Kaiba using Yami and the Dark Energy. He used a combination of them both to get over Neo, but Neo was brought back only to tribute for the Summon Skull. Now, Hane can get Summon Skull off the field like it did in the last game as well. Again, there's some absolute nostalgia in the Metal Raiders pack. Armored Lizard, Killer Needle, Lava Moth, Harpy Lady, the Black Skull Dragon, and the Roaring Ocean Snake. This is where the fusions started to get stronger. Summon Skull and Red Eye's Black Dragon, 3200 for the Black Skull Dragon. Ground Attacker Bugroth, Sanga, Kazajin and Suijin. The Mystic Lamp. Here's one. The Steel Scorpion, and it's not in this game. Steel Scorpion is not in this game, and I don't think it's in Master Duel. It's an early card. A non-machine type monster attacking Steel Scorpion will be destroyed at the end phase of your opponent's second turn after the attack. It's not a great effect, but it's not terrible as well. A non-machine type monster. I've actually got Steel Scorpion on card. It's 250 attack, 300 defense. It was in some of the very early Yu-Gi-Oh games as Invigoration. Have a look at this. Kaiba's used Monster Reborn of his own. He's got hold of Neo the Magic Swordsman. This could be it. This could be the one that Kaiba wins. Lake Hole and Uguchi and Mystic Lamp, they could all attack your opponent's life points directly through effect. Leogun, Jinzo 7 as well. Oh, the Deep Sea Shark. Bottom Dweller and Tongyo fused to make that. Yugi on the defense now. Kaiba's got Rude Kaiser there as well. Rainbow Flower. Empress Judge. Queen's Double, Disc Magician, Fake Trap. You can only activate this card when your opponent uses an effect, spell, trap, or effect monster to destroy trap cards on your side of the field. Destroy this card as a substitute of those trap cards, and the other trap cards are not destroyed. If a set cards would have been destroyed, pick up and see the set cards. And Summon Skull again. It was the Wall of Illusion which got boosted by Yami and ended up at 2050 defense. As I watch along, the Summon Skull is back. He's done some damage. Change of Heart was in MRD as well, Metal Raiders. So yeah, the Yugi and the Kaiba decks are a fusion between Metal Raiders and the Legend of Blue Eyes. Blackland Fire Dragon. The Swamp Battle Guard, Sagi the Dark Clown, which surprisingly was not in the original Kaiba starter deck. I think it might have been in maybe in his Reloaded deck or his Evolution deck, but in his very original one, it wasn't in it. Dragon Piper, as well, Illusionist Facialist Mage, Jellyfish, Castle of Dark Illusions, King of Yummy Makai, Rabid Horseman. That's a supplement card for the Kaiba starter deck. Same with Guy the Dragon Champion for Yugi. Ancient Brain and Tainted Wisdom. They're the fusions for Skull Knight. There's Labyrinth Tank, Bakuri Box. The Immortal of Thunder. Increase your life points by 3,000 points. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you lose 5,000 life points. Speaking of life points, I don't think Kaibas are going to last much longer. He's down to 200, and all he has is Rude Kaiser. Is Cannon Soldier not banned anymore? It's not coming up as banned on this list. Twin-headed Thunder Dragon. Classic. And the Book of Secret Arts has gone on to the Sorcerer of the Doomed. It's at 1950, powered up by Yami as well. It's a beautiful duel. Yugi using Yami to power up almost every one of his monsters, and Satsu, one of the more crap cards now. However, Yugi has won again, and I do believe, yes, that's where the time code is ending. Kaiba did not win a match. I think that might have been 5-0 in favour to Yugi, which is just goes to show without doubt the Yugi starter deck is better than the Kaiba starter deck. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll do an episode with Pegasus and Kaiba, Joey's starter deck soon as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.